Hey y'all, it is Tuesday, August 22nd, and we have updates on all of these things. First, let's talk about the Titan sub and its CEO, Stockton Rush. Ever since this disaster first occurred, there has been more and more information coming out about Stockton. And most recently, we've learned that in 2016, while Stockton was using another sub, the Cyclops 1, to look around the wreck of the Andrea Doria, a ship that sank in 1956, apparently he had a meltdown. So basically what happened was Stockton was piloting the Cyclops toward this shipwreck and ignored recommendations on where to land for people to be able to see and explore as they need to, and essentially got the sub stuck. After about an hour of trying to get it free, one of the high-paying customers on board said for Stockton to give the fucking controller to somebody else. That other person was Ocean Gate safety engineer David Lockridge, and what Stockton did was basically throw the joystick at Lockridge so that he could get them free, which he ultimately did. And if the name David Lockridge sounds familiar, it should, because he's the safety engineer who brought up all the safety concerns on the Titan as well as other vessels, and ultimately ended up getting fired for it. Next, let's talk about Todd and Julie Chrisley, two people who, in this creator's opinion, received too harsh of a sentence for what they did. First, let's talk about Todd. Apparently, people within the prison are allowing inmates and others to take photos with Todd while he's sleeping without his permission. On top of that, Todd is serving his 12 years in Florida, where it gets very hot, and apparently there are issues with the air conditioning and the ventilation not working, mold, and possible asbestos. Now for Julie, it's not too dissimilar. She's in Kentucky, has the same issue with heat, with air conditioner not working, black mold, except she has snakes as well. Apparently there have been issues where poisonous snakes have gotten into the prison that have had to have been contained and taken care of. And look, I realize it's a prison. People are there to be punished, not to have a wonderful stay. But things like air conditioning, black mold, and snakes are things that should be prevented. And lastly, the Chrisleys are getting a new TV show without Todd and Julie. The likelihood of the Bureau of Prisons letting them film the two former reality stars is slim to none. All that said, though, Todd and Julie are apparently very excited and will help in whatever way they can. On top of that, the last thing to say is, despite the fact that they have not seen each other since they reported to jail in January, they still love each other very much. Finally, let's talk about former President and former First Lady Jimmy and Rosalind Carter. As you can see from the headline here, according to their grandson, both of them are in their final chapter. There has been an update on Rosalind Carter's health, and I will share that in a moment. Several months ago, the former president made the decision to no longer seek out health care for his cancer and is just in hospice and has been for the last 6 months. Apparently, his personality is still very much the same, but he has really slowed down. He's very tired, and he's not as active as he once was. At the same time, he is almost 99 years old. In May, the former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, was diagnosed with dementia. Now, Mrs. Carter, who is 96, does apparently understand that she has dementia. She still recognizes most of the time who people are and is still forming new memories. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Carter, who at 77 years of marriage are the longest married presidential couple in history, still love each other very much. They're still holding each other's hands and still taking care of one another as best they can. Anyways, to make sure that you stay updated on the news, please go ahead and hit that follow button.